All right. We are back. Born King Media. I am Antonio Lamar. Here once again with my main man Trey. What's good?
What's up? What's up?
Man, nothing. We just today we just want to kind of talk about the OU defense and kind of where we see it heading into next year, this 2024-25 season. Especially again, heading into the SEC. We gotta be much improved. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
thought they were getting better last year, but we still need to see a lot more to go tackle what we got coming up. Before we get into it, any initial thoughts on the D, like basically from last year, what you saw, kind of things you think we need to improve on, just from your perspective?
It seemed like to me when from the year before and then the last year's defense, it was definitely some improvements. It was a more stops. It was more, like some big plays going on, interceptions type thing. I don't know the stats, but it seemed like they were. It was more. It was the defense was more involved in the game. It wasn't just you'll see a guy catch a 5 yard stop route, and the defender would be 5 yards away. And like, what is going on? It was more
Yeah.
challenge plays, and I was like, so it seemed like the defense did get better, and it did kind of tail off at the end there, like in like certain games where you're like, it
hmm
should be. But I think
And
I think to get better, I think they need a better, of course, better pass rush, and then
mhm.
the run stopping.
Right. And I think that's what they really focused on, it seems like, in the recruiting process and everything that I've seen so far. Uh, like Billy Bowman, the safety, I know that he really stepped up last year. He was number two
Mm-hmm.
back then. Safety, he had a lot of interceptions, returned some to the house. I think he returned like three of them to the house, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody will correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But
All right.
he'll be once it's dropped this. But all right, so this is like again, it'll be the third year for Brent Venables in Norman, back like he never left. Although when he left, he went and picked up a couple national championships. You know what I'm saying? Defensive coordinator at Clemson. I think they won two, right? When he was out
Uh,
there,
I know
Deshaun Deshaun Watson and
he was there.
Goldilocks won one too, right? I call him Goldilocks. My man, the long hair,
Uh,
Sunshine,
um,
look like Sunshine. Trevor
oh
Lawrence.
my goodness, this that Trevor Lawrence
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun got one, and I do think Brett was there for both of them, if I'm not
for both
mistaken.
of them. Yeah, he had two.
Yeah, so he has three national
He,
championships under his belt as a defensive coordinator.
that's what made me feel good about him being the coach and then going us or joining the SEC. He knows that area. At least knows how to at least play, get a defense in that. And
Right.
then
He know what to expect for sure because
right, yeah,
he's yeah, although he was in the ACC at Clemson, but Clemson was the top tier the whole time he was there at the ACC conference, and they had to play them SEC teams in the bowl games, the championship games, in order to win them. So he know what he's up against. He put a lot of defensive linemen in the league. Him and I know Ty Bates, defensive line coach as well. I know he's a hell of a recruiter and a hell of a coach. He's putting guys in there. So I think
okay,
that's one of the reasons why they starting to get more defensive linemen, as we'll
right.
get into
They
here in a second.
a lot better recruiting.
A lot better recruiting. Um, I know the linebackers coach and defensive coordinator last year was Ted Roof, but they have parted ways with him. And I kind of think that was a good move. I like Ted Roof, seemed like a cool guy, or whatever, but it really did seem like he was more of a face to the defense, and it seemed like Brent Venables was really the one kind of behind the scenes master manipulated, which is kind of what I wanted. But I do need somebody now that can stand on his own too. I'm not being disrespectful to Ted Roof. I'm not saying he didn't, but I think we all
Mm-hmm.
kind of know what that was. And now they have brought in Zach Alley. I think he came from Central Florida, if I'm not mistaken, or one of them schools, defense, Florida Atlantic, one of them schools out there. It's blanket missing me right now, but he did used to work for Brent Venables at Clemson, and then he went on. And I heard that Brent Venables is the one that actually called. Shoot, I don't know why I'm blanking on everybody's name, but the coach that was the head coach for the team that he went to, I think Venables actually had a call with him and told him he needs to hire Zach Alley. He's a young guy coming up, just like Brent was young when he first started, and he got the opportunity from Bob Stoops, and I think he kind of returned the favor with Zach Alley. Now he has pulled him back in to work for him as a head coach. Now as a defensive coordinator, pretty good story. Uh, I think he runs a similar defense to what we're already doing. Naturally, he's Brent Venables is being his mentor and things like that. But he's been doing a pretty good job. I don't know how much you've heard about him so far, but I know very little about him. I watched an interview with him, but that was a couple months ago. And like I said, a long time ago. Been through a lot since then. Don't remember everything, but I probably have to rewatch that so I can be up to speed like I really need to be. Don't worry, guys. I get back up to speed pretty soon here. Been a while since I've been making these videos, but we will be back up to speed. We can start with the defensive tackle position, which is Todd Bates. Defensive line, that's like kind of his specialty. And I will start with they brought in a major recruit, excuse me, a major transfer from TCU, Dominique Williams. I don't know how much you heard about that.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I see him transfer, and I see some other transfer, and that was one of my questions I was going to ask you. But is that a good thing or a bad thing to have you get in that many transfers on the defense? Are we picking up players that did great at the other schools, or were they ready to leave and try to come here and stuff like that?
You see, I think it's a good thing. I think it's one of those things where they picking some pretty good transfers, meaning they picking guys who did well at a school that they probably think, they did good, and they probably in their mind should be at a bigger school like Alabama, Ohio State, OU. So, because these guys are good. Like these guys are people was actually fighting over. Dominique Williams, Texas is trying to get him. I know a bunch of other schools are trying to get him. Everybody throwing them money and all that. And most people consider it a huge, massive recruiting win for Ty Bates and the Sooners.
So, what was his year like last year? He said with TCU.
Yeah, if I'm mistaken, I think he had about 5 sacks, a bunch of tackles. Really just one of them dudes, like big dude, like, well, in stature, he's not like
320. Yeah.
Yeah, is he 320?
Yeah.
What are you like, 6'3", 6'2"?
No, that's on here. They don't have his. Let me see.
But yeah,
they just had transfer school, and then they have his weight.
Okay, man. Okay, never mind. Yeah, he's not still on the official roster yet. But
okay,
that's what I'm looking at over here. I'm like, where the hell is he at? But I'll pull him up over here on this TCU roster from last year. Yeah, 6'2", 320. So he's one of those, maybe a little short in stature, but
yeah,
thick dudes who can plug up the hole. I watched a little bit of tape on him.
okay,
He seemed like a good player though. Like a really, really, really decent player that we can definitely use, because I think that's one of the things we was missing was in the inside.
right.
I felt like we had a couple good players. Like Dejon Terry, he was a transfer from Tennessee last year. He's coming back.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. And it's just the depth, behind the starters. I think that's what we're missing.
And he had nose, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a nose. So these two will be I think it should be maybe those two. We got Marcus Strong still out there, Ashton Sanders, Grayson Halton, Devon Sears. So those are some of the guys that'll be back in there and joining those veterans that we already have. Now,
Right.
the freshman class was pretty good this year, pretty special, honestly. We got David Stone, my man's, who went to IMG. He's from Oklahoma. He went to Dale City before transferring out to an IMG, which is one of those football prep schools. That's how he became like the number 1, number 2 defensive lineman in the nation. And so when it just saying it out loud, when is the last time you got the best defensive lineman in the nation coming out of high school? You know what I'm saying? That's the Brent Venables effect, in my opinion.
We going back maybe 90s?
Shoot, Tommy Harris. I'll give him Tommy Harris, maybe.
Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah.
2005-ish, I think. Or 7.
Yeah.
No, it might have been after 2000. Well, yeah, he was after Adrian Peterson, I think.
Yeah.
I know Adrian Peterson got here in 2004. He was 2004 to 2007. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about the last time. I'll say about Tommy Harris. That's probably the last time.
Okay, David Stone. Yep.
David Stone, solid. You know what I'm saying? Stone. Actually, Nino actually knows him personally, talks to him, sees him all the time. I keep telling him to get us the interview. He bullshitting on the interview. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to get it before he actually got in school because I know he might have some restrictions now. But I was trying to get the interview while he was just leaving high school.
Yeah, I got you.
But nah, I'm just messing with Nino.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear this, bro. Jaden Jackson, also a defensive tackle that was one of the top recruits in the nation as well. And they played on the same team, and so he got Jaden to come and Nigel Smith, which is another stud. So we got 3 true freshman studs coming in on the defensive line. Now, these some big boys out here now in college, SEC,
right.
They grown men now, like a lot of these dudes, juniors and seniors.
Right.
So they going to be grown men in them out there. So they going to still have to get their strength up. They still just coming out of high school. So I don't expect them to be, Warren Sapp off the bat. But
right.
if one of them wants to be, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you about to say?
I still got to go through that strength and conditioning and all of that stuff. That transformation.
Right.
Where, they get more of a meal plan and all of that stuff built up for them to where they can probably get where they need to be to compete. They already have talent.
Yes, sir. They just got to get their diet right, their workout program right. So they're on the right track, though. It seems like I've heard nothing but pretty good things about them. At the defensive end position, a lot of got some veterans and got some youth out there. Got Adebawore, PJ Adebawore. He was a 5-star last year, so he was a freshman last year, and he could pass rush his ass off, and he wasn't used as much as we probably wanted him to last year, but he was he was a true freshman, and his brother got drafted into the league last year, so his brother is you know what I mean, so he got lineage with him. His brother was good. Looks like he gonna be good. He came in already ripped up, but he just got one of them wiry kind of thinner frames.
Yeah.
At defensive end, but he cut up. I mean, ripped up. You know what I'm saying? All he needed to do is just put on a little bit more weight, which I'm sure he's done by now. And man, he's fast off the edge. So I think he's gonna probably have a nice year this year, hopefully. So he should be all right. Got Taylor Wine as well. Wyatt Gilmore, freshman. Danny Okoye, freshman. Couple edge guys that should even, I don't know, somebody might redshirt there. R. Mason Thomas, another veteran we got, Caden Woolard. And
Yeah.
we got Ethan Downs, number 40. He's still there. My guy. We got 6-year senior Trace Ford, who transferred from OSU last year. He actually did good last year. So this will be his
Uh-huh.
second year at OU. So he number 30. He'll be out there too. So I think just looking at
Okay.
the defensive end room sounds solid, but I would
Right.
like PJ Adebawore, the 5-star product. We need him to take that next
Try to
step.
step it up.
Yeah, he needs to step it up.
I see some pretty good. I was sure. How many seniors just in the starting lineup?
What you looking at over there? What they got?
Oh, they get them CLC 1, 2.
I know I see what we got. My boy Danny. I mean, not Danny. Ethan Downs, Trace Ford.
Yeah.
So those two, the older guys, right?
Right.
And
I see.
then
I see
R.
about
Mason
7 or 8.
Thomas. What'd you say?
I see. I'm looking at 8, but I don't know if my list is as accurate as yours.
R.
So I'm
Mason
looking at the
Thomas is
list.
a junior. Number 32. He'll be out there.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah, he's junior. And then
Caden Woolard's a senior, 6'4".
Woodler's a senior. Yeah, Stone, freshman. That's a freshman.
Freshman,
But then Terry's a
DeJoun
senior.
Terry, senior.
Yep.
Yep, that's the one that
Yep.
transferred from Tennessee.
Yeah, you said Downs.
Ashton
And then
Sanders is a freshman, a redshirt
yeah,
freshman. He a little on the smaller side, but
yeah.
he's a good player though. Maybe to come in, take a couple snaps, spell somebody.
And then you had the D backs. We haven't made it to the D backs yet. So I was trying to.
We about to. Let's hit the linebacker real quick.
Yeah.
Because at linebacker now, this is a very interesting position to me. Because we got Danny Stud, who's been here for a while.
Yep, senior.
He was going to go to the league last year, but he decided to
Uh-huh.
stay. You know what I mean? Man, I was really like Danny Stud. I wasn't sure about him when he first got there. I saw that he had talent, but he was a little
Uh-huh.
goofy. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just kind of a goofier guy. But from all indication and from what I've seen, he got more serious last year. That first year in the Venables, he was a little goofy. Last year, he got more serious, stepped up. Actually, could have left this year. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I expect him to be more mature this year. I heard that it's like one day a week, he calls the whole, I don't know if it's the whole defense or the whole linebacking crew over to his house, and they all watch film together. You know what I'm saying? They all chill. So that's like that's the type of shit that I need to see. Yeah, like every linebacker from here on out, whoever is supposed to be the stud, he need to take over that tradition.
Right.
That
becomes because he's the senior. He's supposed to. That's his role.
Yes.
Hey, you the leader. It's your role. That's you're supposed to call the meetings. When you're that's almost in any job. You're the senior person there. Hey, you get all your peers together. Hey, let's talk about what we do like, what we don't like. Hey, let's study. What we need to do to make our job and do our job better. And then that'll build the team. That's building the team right there.
Team building. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so glad he came back. 6'4", 241. You know what I'm saying? He's always, been a big guy out there. He's like I said, the linebacker position is kind of stacked. I don't know the last time we've been able to say that. Studsman, we got Phil Picotti, who just a redshirt freshman now, 6'3", 237. I remember him coming out of Florida, highly touted. Yeah, I think he went to one of them IMG Academy type places too. Yeah, he went to IMG as well. Samuel Asamigo, 6'2", 227. He's a linebacker. He was wiry when he first came out. Now he should be I'm sure, a little bigger now. James Nesta. Don't expect too much of him. Kobe McKenzie. I like him. 6'2", 232. It's my boy out of Lubbock, Texas. Deshaun McCullough, another transfer. Him and his brother. I think he went to Indiana. Yeah, he transferred in
Number one,
6'5",
yeah.
222. Yes, sir. Now, I'm gonna tell you some guys that I just really love. And Kip Lewis is one of them. Linebacker
Yeah.
out of
Like,
Texas.
yeah.
6'1", 2, more on the smaller side. But let me tell you, this boy here, that boy there, hey, he remind me like Marcus or somebody. He run up there, he gonna hit somebody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Fly to
saying?
the
Him and
ball.
him and number 20, Lewis Carter. He's
Uh-huh.
sophomore as well. Another one on the smaller side, 6', 221. But these guys, they like
They sitting out wide.
yeah,
Yeah.
they go. Like they
Right.
go.
They supposed to be that's the fast linebackers.
Yes, they the fast ones. They running out there chasing boys down,
Yeah.
getting the job done. So I'm actually cool at the linebacker spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
I think
got
they
some
just
experience there. You got some younger guys in there. It's a good mix.
great mix. They just as deep as they've ever been right now. Like far as in this, recent era, I would say. I'm not going to
Uh-huh.
let's not talk about Bosworth and all that now. I'm just talking about the recent era.
Of recent of man.
So yeah, where we at now? We got to hit the boys out there. Let's hit the corners real quick. That's
All right.
before we get to the safeties. We got Jay Valai out there, my guy, cornerback coach. He's been doing a pretty good
Okay.
job. Now we got Woody Washington returned, and I know this is his 6th year. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because of that COVID year.
Right. Because they got up on the red shirt, right?
Mm-hmm. Now,
That too.
and Woody's a solid, he's a solid, good player. I almost thought that he could have probably went to the league maybe the year before last year, but last year, cool, probably wasn't his greatest of seasons,
Uh-huh.
but he's still a good cornerback, solid starter. Gentry Williams, solid starter, my boy, Oklahoma born.
Uh-huh.
Nito know him as well too.
Yeah.
That's another one of them. I think it's a Tulsa kid. Dino used to coach him up there.
All
Used to run
right.
track on the same track team as his daughter. I'm
Okay.
sure you heard that. Yeah, he sent me a picture of him and Gentry and his daughter when they was together on the track team and they were little kids and shit. So they grew up with the kid. Oh, he's
Uh-huh.
solid too. It's just he get hurt a lot. That's his only problem. He always
Yeah.
got like he don't be out, but he always got like a nagging injury.
Right. Just to kind of
Like,
keep him holding him back just a little
yeah,
bit.
like his shoulder. He got a problem with his shoulder all year, or he got like some type of hamstring something, or something. It's always just something. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, which is hurts because you're like, you're thinking, all right, I'm healthy, and then you go in and tweak something else. It's kind of rough. I know it's frustrating too. You're thinking, man, I'm about to get out here, and then you go out there and tweak something else, and you got to
Nah,
take
for
care of your
sure.
body. So
Nah,
this
for sure,
what's
for
this
sure.
Diaz Malone? Is he a transfer? Has he been here already? Is he on there?
Yes, he's a retro. I think he came from San Diego State.
Okay,
You know what I'm
like this is
saying?
his
So
first year here.
yeah, I think so. And I think he can get some yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I think he can get some he might be able to step in a little bit. I watched a little bit of film. It's hard to remember, but from what I remember from it was I thought to myself, like, okay, he probably can get some playing time. He might be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Out there. He seemed like a good, solid player. We had Makari Vickers, but I'm not sure. Is he still there? I don't know if he transferred.
I'm
He
not.
might
Oh
still be
yes,
there.
he's still in there. He's still in here. He's the youngest one out of So I'm looking at all the cornerbacks. Him and Jacoby Johnson are the two young ones. Everybody else is
Sophomores.
juniors and seniors. Yeah,
Right.
sophomores. Yeah, and everybody else is juniors and seniors.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm trying to see. I guess I don't even see. I
Oh,
don't think they ever.
Josiah Wagner. Josiah Wagner. I like Josiah Wagner. And
Yeah.
he transferred out. I think he's an example of the type of people that OU got to transfer into OU. Like I think he's one of them dudes. Like he got some playing time, and when he did, I thought he looked good,
Uh-huh.
but he probably feel like he should be starting somewhere.
Right.
Like he's good enough to start somewhere. So I'm not even mad at him for leaving. I wish he would have stayed.
It seems like it's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah, a lot of competition out there. So which is a good thing. Hey, yeah, it can
Yeah,
do nothing but make your team better.
right. Somebody
You know what
can
I'm
step
saying?
up anytime.
Right. So yeah, the cornerback spot, I think that'd be solid. Now, the safety spot, I think they just out there. They got a lot of talent out there, man. They got Billy Bowman, who could have
Oh man,
left. Again, he
yeah.
could have left last year. He had enough interceptions, enough stats.
So
Looked
I
good
mean,
out there.
all these guys that came back, they coming in. They hopefully, they show out this year, and then that way, they could probably get their stock up to. We'll probably have like I don't know about 4 or 5. So for the way you're talking, we probably have 3 to 4 players in the draft next year coming from OU.
Yeah. Look like the defense actually gonna put some people out there next year in the
Yeah,
draft for sure. I think they gonna put some people out there.
it's a lot of
Um,
like I said, a lot of experience, a lot of guys. It's like 6 years, seniors, stuff like that. Just
where,
kind of looking at it.
yeah, Robert Spears Jennings, that boy right there, he can play. He coming up hitting. Peyton Bowen, who was the 5-star freshman last year, number
Yeah,
22, he from
yeah,
Texas. Yeah. So he should get more playing time as well.
yeah,
That boy right there, he got a high football IQ. I can see it already when I watch him play.
yeah.
Um, Eric
So,
McCarty.
probably.
Shout out to Eric McCarty. He commented on one of my videos one time. When he was in high school, made a
Uh-huh.
video about him signing to OU. I actually watched him play a game against TJ. When TJ played at Dale City, he played for like McAllister, I think. And I
Uh-huh.
went to the game, and the shit went to like double, triple overtime. It was a great game. Um, but he was cold, white boy, long hair like Trevor Lawrence.
Uh-huh.
He was playing running back and
Okay.
safety. Hey, boy's a stud out there. Hey, nah, he was. Hey, he's almost seemed good enough to play running back in college, but safety
Uh-huh.
probably a good spot for him. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
That's McCarthy,
Jaden,
McClary, and
yeah,
then Powers, right? Reggie Powers.
Reggie Powers and Jaden Hardy. We got, you know what I'm saying, kind of routed it out. Michael Patterson McDonald. It's just it's a lot of people out there, to be honest with you. Michael Boganowski, which, like I said, I think I expect Robert Spears Jennings, Billy Bowman.
That's free safety. Right?
Uh
He playing. Is he starting free safety? Spears Jennings.
I think so. Yeah, him or Billy or vice versa.
Oh, Hardy.
And
Oh, Hardy, the freshman.
Peyton Bowen is gonna be the third up to bat. Like, regardless, I think whether that be at strong or
Oh,
free, wherever the hell they got him right now.
you saw about Bowen. So Bowen on this one on the list I got, they got Bauman, strong safety at first, and then they got number 22 Bowen at uh, like player 2 on the depth chart.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Bowen should be wherever he is, he should be next up. And he would be starting. I'm just glad he ain't transferred because he'd be starting for anybody anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
With that type of stuff, lets me know we doing good on D. Like when Lincoln Riley was here, we had none of these type of problems, like good problems that we just got
Right.
an overwhelming number. We got people got to transfer because it's too many people.
There's too many
You know,
people here. I gotta
like
go somewhere else.
we didn't have those problems with Lincoln Riley. Offense was
Right,
hella
right,
fine.
right.
Don't get me wrong. Offense was on point,
Yeah,
scoring 50 every game, damn near. But
yeah.
the other
And that
goddamn
so
defense, boy, was trash.
so
Out there.
like
No
we said,
disrespect.
we feel like we feel like the defense has improved and may gotten better. Do you think the offense took a hit from that? Took a hit.
I gotta be honest. I think the offense, as far as creativity and what they was doing out there, I think it did take a slight step back compared to the Lincoln Riley offense. But now the thing is, we don't have Jeff Levy no more, like we talked about in the
Uh-huh.
last video. So now we got Seth Luttrell, Joe John Finley. We got to kind of just wait and see what they do. I'm not sure how good or how bad they're gonna be. Hopefully, I can goddamn hope that they come out here and do something now. Be creative.
Yeah, because they've been in place since the bowl game, right?
Yes.
So they had a chance to get a good starting point with Arnold, and then I feel like hopefully they build up a good, you know, they got a good thing going to where it starts to click for him. And just in
Right.
his sophomore year, to just come out just knowing what the scheme and what the plan is and all of that stuff.
Yeah, that should definitely make it a lot easier. And during the bowl game, I heard that they still was running Jeff Levy's offense. They was just kind of tweaked it a little bit and kind of started implementing their stuff. So we didn't even get to see, like, of course, they full offense, what they gonna do. Now, what I
Right.
did see though, and I know this is a defensive show, but I did see, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show, in the spring game, I saw a lot of elements of I know they're gonna kill me for this, because I'm a Niner fan, but I saw a lot of elements of that. Some Kyle Shanahan, a lot of sweep action with the wide receivers, a lot of but more as a decoy, a lot of just a lot of motion a little bit more. And I don't think
Right.
they showed a lot, but I just kind of see where I think it's going. And I think they can I think they can build on that, man. And I think they got a quarterback who can run and throw. Matter of fact, they
Yeah.
got two quarterbacks that can run it though, because Michael Hawkins, the freshman, is the same way. And you know,
Right.
his pops played for OU, so shout out to that guy as well.
Yeah. I mean, because I went to that ball game and just sitting in the crowd. Well, sitting in the crowd was with the was it Arizona, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they had on like the jerseys and they had on all their stuff. There was for the Arizona fans that was there. So Arizona was playing their starters.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, they had it seemed like they had their full team out there, and they was kind of so it was like I wasn't really expecting too much from that game. I was happy when we were up and we were like I was like, oh man, we might actually win this game. And then, you know, and then it just kind of fell apart there at the end. But it was very obvious that they would have their starters out there. So I wouldn't put too much on them for that ball game, which is I feel like that's gonna be going forward in college football. These bowl games might, if they're not that important, they're gonna start dying off. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but maybe that's the way it's gonna be.
Right. Because I felt kind of similar in the fact that I felt like OU was playing an uphill battle in that game. Like I said, your freshman quarterback is his first time starting. The
Mm-hmm.
offensive coordinator just left. Uh
Yeah,
you know what I mean? A couple people probably held out for the bowl, but then, so it
right,
was, I mean, anytime you take your starting quarterback away from the team, you can't really expect them to win the game.
you're right.
And I thought they put up a good showing for what they had
Yeah,
to go through.
uh-huh.
And
And some of them the receivers were stepping up, and I was like, man, this it was actually I was impressed by some of the plays they were making, seeing it there.
it's right. It's hard to say, like, oh man, I was impressed in the loss, but in the losing effort, even with the interceptions and turnovers that Jackson Arnold had, I still
Yeah,
came away like, okay, I think the boy gonna be all right.
right. It was the first. It was just the first couple drives where he was looking. It wasn't looking too good, and then he kind of it turned around, and then yeah, it was a couple of. I guess that fumble, one of the turnovers that would happen. I was kind of like I was kind of yelling at that one, but
Yeah. It was
yeah,
he did have a bad turnover that game.
it was another one of the receivers caught the ball and it felt like he was waiting to get tackled or waiting to get hit. And he ended up fumbling. And it was like, what do you man get run?
Well, what
But
do you
yeah,
do?
it was a good game. I didn't want to judge him too much or hard off that game because I realized
Yeah.
that
And
Arizona
some
had
people,
a full squad out there. They weren't, slouches.
right, and they don't suck. And shout out to
Yeah,
the receiver, Joe Calvin, who just joined the Niners. Yeah, that boy put up like 162 yards on his 2 touchdowns. So
yeah. Is
yeah.
that
I'll
number
take
was
him
that
on my
number
squad.
4?
Number 4, number 2, something like
Oh,
that.
okay.
It was the shorter one,
Oh,
the
okay. So
shorter
number 4,
guy.
everybody had on number 4's jersey when we was in the stands.
He said everybody was sporting that one.
Yeah. So when when he started showing out and catching a bunch of passes, that's when I started realizing, oh, they got their stars out there.
Oh yeah, they shining. But yeah, so I think the defense should be much improved, man.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll see what they do next year.
yeah, very hopeful for it.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
and just kind of turn around. It's a different conference, so it's not just like the Big 12. We done with that. I feel like we're done with that. This seems like a good turning of the pages or a changing of the guard of like, hey,
Yes, sir.
we can't show up in Georgia and score 60 points with no defense. We can't show
Exactly.
up. Yeah, we can't show up in Alabama with only an offense. We need at least make some plays to stop on defense, some big turnovers. You need those turnovers in the red zone. And the offense just got to put it through.
No doubt. Because like I said, a whole different era we're going into. And I'm looking forward to it, especially to the people who think that all of a sudden, somehow or another, OU is supposed to go to SEC and just not be OU no more. Like it's supposed to, like, it ain't like we consistently lose to SEC. Like we got our first share of victories against SEC teams over the years. Last time I checked,
Right.
so like, we just beat Florida, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We still remember the Alabama win in the bowl game, right?
Uh-huh.
I do
And then
specifically remember beating Tennessee. Uh, I'm just saying, like we usually like
right,
we kind of be winning these games. So everybody
right,
can talk how they want to talk, but it's still gonna be OU, still gonna be Boomer Sooner, and they still gonna represent. And now
right.
that we're recruiting better defense, we'll be ready to go, man. I'm pretty sure we're
All right.
gonna adjust and rock out.
Just the real quick one. My last question is because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what opened up from us going to the SEC? How did recruiting open up for us? Like what? How did that make it better for us
I think it
for
made it
OU?
better, like you said, for OU.
Yeah.
Well, I think it made it better in the fact that now you can tell recruits like, hey, you playing Alabama, you playing these top tier schools that Georgia that you've been watching win national championship over all these years, your whole life growing up. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, they haven't seen OU actually. They've seen OU win Heisman trophies, be very
Mm-hmm.
competitive, go to the playoffs multiple times, but most people ain't never seen OU in a national championship, these young boys.
You're right.
Like we haven't been to an actual national championship game since what, 2004, 2005, when they played USC and got tapped.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Like even though we made it to the playoffs, we always made it to the semifinals. We never made it to the actual final game,
Right.
even in the playoffs. So, with that being said, now I think you can take what we got, the tradition we got. You can take the head coach that we now have, because as great as Lincoln Riley was, or is, however you want to look at it, he don't have no rings on his fingers, like far as national championship. The coach we
Right.
got now, yeah, you can say, oh, he's a defensive coordinator, but hey, check this out. He got
Uh-huh.
3 of them things.
Yep.
And when you got 3 of them things, you can look at a recruit and be like, I got
Yeah.
3 of them things. You know what I'm
We know
saying?
what we're doing. We
We know what
know.
we doing out here. And now we're headed to the best conference in the nation. And not only that, we got probably one of the best traditions in the nation. And we're gonna show up and show out. And we about to become one of the best teams in the nation. Once again, showing the OU pride, goddamn it. We coming back. You know what I'm saying? We're about to stand up. No, I'm getting hyped now. Where's football season?
Yeah.
now,
I see you
now,
flexing on them now.
hey, now I'm getting hyped out here. Shit.
Yeah. I think they just got a
No.
new TV deal too, right? Just for all the SEC. Like
Uh-huh.
one of the networks is gonna pick up all the games.
Right. And they got
So
so much money just off the TV deal to
right.
help pay for the NIL money and things like that. And the NCAA just ruled that schools can now directly pay players. Oh, no. Excuse me. It has gone into litigation. Everybody assuming it's going to pass. It has not been officially signed yet, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what's coming up the pipe probably after next year. You can expect players to schools, excuse me, and they're gonna have a fund where they can actually pay all the players and even past players all the way back dating to 2016 is gonna be eligible to get money off this new legislation they're supposed to pass. But we'll
Hmm.
see if it passes. Hopefully it does, man. I ain't mad at them boys getting paid because they act like this is an amateur sport. It's never been an amateur sport. It's always been making billions of dollars every year, and the kids get
Right.
shafted, and they act like, oh, it's amateurism. Stop it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Y'all,
I always felt
you're selling my jersey in Foot Locker right now.
right, right.
You know how salty you got to be if I walk in Foot Locker and now my jerseys is just sitting right there? And I ain't making no money from it.
Nothing from it. So I feel like my idea for the whole thing was always kind of they should all of the funds or monies or anything that they have should go into like maybe an account. They'll have like something to siphon from it, but it goes into an account. Once your collegiate career is done, all of that is released to you. It goes into like a trust or something, and then here you go. This is all yours now. Not you don't hand it all to them while they're in school because they could get some big heads and stuff like
Right.
that.
Oh, they could. Oh, plenty. No, listen, plenty of them are gonna blow it, and it's gonna
Uh-huh.
be. They won't have zero. They gonna leave with $3 in their bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, but that's kind of up to them, and they need to learn something about that. But I understand what you're saying, and I
Yeah.
actually do. I would agree with that as long as you know what I'm saying. They do still have some money they get, but maybe like let's say a percentage automatically
Goes
goes to
goes
this
to like,
thing.
hey,
Yeah, that
yeah,
we this
automatic
trust.
that way
Yeah,
you didn't blew it all. All right, here you go. You done
yeah,
with your college career. Here you go.
yeah.
So it's like,
Here's what you got left over that we saved for you. Here you go.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you give me or any young kid from like early
Man. Million
teenage
dollars.
years
Million
to
dollars in 19.
the $1 million, they probably end up. I mean, Lord forbid someone end up hurting themselves and unintentionally. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right, right. I know what you're saying,
I'm
man.
I'm driving something crazy, and at that age, I didn't get a motorcycle at that age because I was like, nah, I'm too invincible right now. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
wait till I mature more, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a motorcycle. So that's why I was like, at that age, they just gonna be like, I got this, and we having fun. We
Mm-hmm.
having
Too
fun with it
much
right
fun.
now. Yeah, and you're gonna end up having too much fun and hurting yourself. Yeah,
Exactly. That's how it goes. And
but yeah, I'm excited for this year. The defense. Looking at it today, just kind of looking at the depth chart and the rosters, and then was even my list that I had. You was naming off players that I didn't see on there, so I was like, okay, so it seemed like a lot of what I want to call it experience transferred
mm-hmm.
in, and that's been on the team and homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Nah, that's what's up, man. And I guess we can pretty much wrap it up from there. But yeah, man, I'm excited as well. I cannot wait. God damn, I can't wait till the season gets started. Couple months away. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's always the hard part going through the summer of just
Uh-huh.
nothing, of just nothing. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I couldn't imagine trying to play football in the summer. I hate playing it in August, so
Woo, yeah, the summer would be wild. Yeah, nah, people be
it's too
dying
hot.
out there. Too
Yeah.
hot. Our bodies couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Straight up, especially my old ass. Hey, but
yeah.
yeah, man. Let's go.
Yep.
Shout out to OU. Thank you for anybody who has watched this video and made it to the end. If you made it this far, if you haven't already, you might as well hit the like button. You might as well hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? You might as well follow Born King Media on all social media platforms. It's all the same. Born King Media everywhere. And if you want to watch me talk crazy about other things, you can follow me at Antonio Lamar 33 on Twitter, things like that. But hey man, good show. Appreciate you for stopping in, my brother.
No
And
problem. No problem.
we'll be back at it next time, y'all.
All right.
Peace.